The time has come to stop hurting yourself. You know what I am talking about. This pain you carry has consumed you too much already. How many times have you pretended that everything was fine while inside, everything seemed to be falling apart? This is not fair to you. It wasn't fair yesterday nor today, and it shouldn't be your future. The angels are trying to tell you, let go. There is no point in holding on to what cannot be changed. You have suffered enough. Now the choice is yours. Continue clinging to what breaks you, or open up to what can heal you. Are you ready to put this pain in the past and rewrite your story with more strength and peace? Life won't wait for you. While you hold your heart in this cycle of pain and regret, time moves forward and doesn't come back. Everything you lost, all the sleepless nights, and the moments you let slip by living trapped in this wound, none of that needs to repeat. How many times have you found yourself reliving the same scene, seeking answers that never come, trying to understand why this happened to you? But until when? How long will you let this pain be your endpoint? I know it's not easy. I am not here to tell you that you need to be strong all the time or that the pain will magically disappear. That would be a lie. But I will tell you one truth that perhaps you haven't understood yet. You no longer need to be a hostage to this. Each time you choose to carry this pain, you tell the world and yourself that you don't deserve something better. But that is not true. Deep down, you feel you deserve more. And you do. But no one can make this move for you. Only you can decide that you don't want to live like this anymore. Suffering feeds off your attachment. The more you hold on to it, the more it grows and dominates you. You realize this, don't you? It invades your thoughts, takes your sleep, makes you doubt who you are. But the good news is that the opposite is also true. If you let go, the pain loses its power. It may seem impossible now, but the truth is that it all starts with a single decision. It's not about forgetting, it's about not letting it define you anymore. So it doesn't matter what happened or who hurt you. What matters now is what you choose to do with it. You are more than this wound. You are more than your mistakes, more than the emptiness they tried to leave inside you. You are still here. You still breathe, still feel, still dream. Even if at times that dream seems distant. Maybe you're afraid to let go because you believe that without this pain, without this story, you will lose part of who you are. This happens to everyone who has suffered too much. But let me tell you something important. Leaving this pain behind is not losing a part of you. It's reconnecting with the part that was suffocated by all of this. You are still capable of feeling joy, even after everything. You can still believe in love, even if it was cruel before, and you can still start over, even when everything seems to have crumbled. But the first step is yours. If you don't take that step, no one can do it for you. No one knows this pain better than you, but no one knows your strength like you do either. Think about it. How long are you going to continue carrying something that only weighs you down and paralyzes you? How long will you allow the past to control your present? I know it hurts. I know it's hard to trust that something can be better after so much suffering. But I also know that deep down there is a part of you that wants more. A part of you that wants to be free and truly live, without looking back with regret. And it doesn't need to be a big movement. It doesn't have to be a shout or a revolution. It can be a small step, but a firm step. A step that says, I choose to heal. I choose to live. You can do it. Do you know why? Because you have already endured much more than you thought you could. You have survived days that seemed endless and pains that seemed unbearable. And if you survived all of that, you are stronger than you believe. Pain tries to convince you that you are alone, but you are not. You never were. There is something greater taking care of you, even when everything seems silent. God has not abandoned you. He is waiting for the moment when you will look up and say, I am ready. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to be fast, but you need to be true. You deserve peace. You deserve to breathe without that weight on your chest. You deserve to look to the future without fear of what lies behind. Now, tell me, are you willing to take that step? Not for anyone else, not to prove anything to anyone, but for you, because you deserve to be happy again. If you say yes, I will be here with you, guiding you on this journey. If you say no, I still believe that one day you will do it, because I know that within you there is something greater than this pain. Life still has much to offer you, but you need to believe in that first. If you continue like this, do you know what will happen? Time will pass, and one day you will look in the mirror and realize that you let years slip through your fingers. You will realize that you held on to this pain so much that you forgot how to live without it. And I know that idea is scary. More than that, I know it paralyzes you, but there's no point in avoiding it. As long as you don't decide to let go, pain will continue to be your constant companion. This pain is not a memory that strengthens you. It is a chain that keeps you bound. And I am not saying this to hurt you, but because someone needs to be honest with you. Someone needs to remind you that you were not born to live carrying this cross. And you know what? The world is not going to stop for you to heal. Opportunities are not going to knock on your door while you wait for the perfect moment. Because the truth is this, there is no perfect moment. If you keep waiting to feel ready, to let go of that hurt, to start over, that moment may never come. Do you know when you will feel strength? The moment you decide to act. How many times have you tried to hide your pain from others, pretending you were fine? How many times did you smile to avoid worrying anyone? And how many of those times did you go to bed with a heavy heart, feeling like you were on the edge of an abyss? I understand you. I know what it's like to feel suffocated by something nobody seems to see, but let me tell you something important. Just because no one sees it doesn't mean there's no way out. Sometimes the chains that bind you are invisible, but the key is also in your hands. You need to believe this. You are the one who decides the end of this story. You can continue to be the victim of circumstances, of pain and disappointments, or you can be the protagonist who chooses to turn the page. This does not mean it will be easy, or that you will forget everything as if nothing happened, but it means you will stop letting that pain be your identity. You are not the person who was broken. You are the person who can still rebuild themselves. Maybe you are thinking, but I don't know how to start. That's okay, you don't need to know the whole path. You just need to take the first step. Do you know what that is? It's accepting that you don't have to carry everything alone, that asking for help is not a weakness, that forgiving yourself is not forgetting what happened, but stopping being a prisoner of your own expectations. And no, you don't need to be perfect. There will be days when the pain tries to come back. There will be moments when you will want to give up. But it is on those days that you need to remember. You have already come this far. You have already endured the worst. Now it's time to set yourself free. It doesn't matter who hurt you. It doesn't matter how many times you failed. What matters is what you are going to do now. Because while you read this, time is passing. And I ask you, how long will you wait to live the life you deserve? You can still fall in love with who you are again. You can find the peace of waking up without feeling that ache in your chest. You can look to the future without fear of what has been left behind. But I need to be clear with you. This decision is yours. No one can live it for you. The angels can show you the way, but only you can take the step. God can hold you when you fall, but only you can choose to get up. You need to choose. Continue feeding this pain or start feeding your own healing. And don't think it's too late. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you made. The restart does not depend on your past. It only depends on what you decide now. The past is unchangeable, but the present is here waiting for your decision. So I ask you once again, will you continue in the same place, or will you allow yourself to truly live? If your answer is yes, I will tell you something. The path will not be perfect, but it will be liberating. There will be days when you will feel fear, but those will be the days when you will discover how strong you are. Because freedom is not a gift that someone will give you. It is the sum of each choice you make every day to not let the past define who you are. So choose, not tomorrow, not later, now. You already know what needs to be done, and I am here to remind you. You deserve to be happy, and you don't have to wait for it any longer. Say to yourself, not to me, not to the world, but to yourself, I choose to live. I choose to be free. The first step may be difficult, but it is always the most important one. What will you choose? You are at a decisive point in your life. This is not just a text you are reading, it is a call to act. Because the more you hesitate, the more life slips through your fingers. You may feel fear, and that's okay. Fear is natural. It shows up whenever you're about to change something big. But fear is not a sentence. It is just a test. It wants to see how far you are willing to go for yourself. And the truth is, you already know the answer. You know you need to change. Because deep down, you can't stand living like this anymore. Full of thoughts that hold you back, of hurts that weigh on your shoulders, of frustrated expectations that you carry as if they were your fault. Let me tell you something that maybe no one has told you. It wasn't your fault. If someone hurt you, that says more about their weakness than about you. If you failed, that makes you human, not a lost case. If what you expected didn't happen, that is not a sign that you don't deserve it. Stop for a moment and reflect. How many times have you blamed yourself for something that was out of your control? How many times have you fed the idea that you were not enough just because things didn't go as you planned? But you are more than your falls. Much more. You no longer need to live as a hostage to this narrative. The world out there will not give you all the answers. It will not be kind to your wounds. But you can. Be the voice you always wanted to hear. That voice that tells you, hey, you have already done the best you could. Now do this for yourself. Leave the past where it is. Think of everything you can still live when you let go of that baggage. Think of how it feels to wake up feeling light, without that suffocating feeling of emptiness. Imagine looking in the mirror and feeling proud of what you see, not for being perfect, but for being someone who fought to rise again. That's what's at stake. But this version of you will not appear out of nowhere. It is born from your decision, the decision not to be a slave to pain anymore, the decision to let go. Do you think it's impossible? It is not. Impossible is to continue believing that this pain protects or keeps you safe. It does not protect you. It limits you. It ties you to stories that should have ended long ago. If you continue feeding on it, you will lose opportunities that will never return. Moments that could have been light, loves that could have been intense, laughter that could have been free. Do not let what was broken dictate who you are. Because I'll tell you another thing. Even when everything falls apart, there is always a new beginning. And often it is better than everything you have planned. But first you need to free yourself. There is no healing while you hold on to wounds so tightly. So tell me, how long will you choose to live with these chains? How long will you allow them to define you? Today can be the day you decide to let go, not tomorrow, not later. Now, you do not need certainties to start over. You just need courage. Life will keep passing whether you do something or not. The only difference is what you choose to do with the time you still have. So, choose. For you. For the person you can still be. For the love you still deserve to feel. For the dreams you can still realize. The only question that remains is, what will you do now? It is time to choose and move forward. You have waited too long, stayed silent too long, and got lost in doubts long enough. Now I want you to do something different. I want you to make the decision to break out of this cycle. It does not have to be a huge leap. It does not have to be perfect. But it has to be now. Stop for a moment and say to yourself, I am not the pain that was caused to me. I am much more than that. Say it out loud. Feel the weight lifting little by little. It's not magic, it's a choice. A choice that starts small, but transforms everything. When you allow yourself, little by little, what seems impossible today will become part of your new story. And do you know what the best part of this journey is? It belongs only to you. So here's my invitation. Don't let this message be just another text you read and then forgot. Use this as a milestone. Take the first step. Comment here how you feel. Share what touches you and where you want to go. Leave a yes in the comments if you are ready to change, even if you are afraid. Even if it's little by little. Your disclosure may be the start of a new phase and, who knows, inspire someone who also needs to hear this. If this message made sense to you, leave your like, because it shows that you are attentive to what you feel and willing to move forward. And subscribe to the channel because this is a journey and you don't have to walk alone. More content like this can help you remember who you are and keep you steady on the toughest days. Your story is not over yet. Today is the day to turn the page and write a new chapter. And you can start right now. Comment, like, and follow. But above all, choose to live.